A shadow follows you, but it cannot touch your light. Archangel Michael says, tonight, an unseen force stirs close to your spirit, but your light remains untouched. A dark presence watches from the corners, thinking it can frighten you, but your flame was born from realms that shadows cannot reach. This message reaches you now because something has shifted in the spiritual dimension, your awakening has begun, and no darkness can snuff it out. There is a shadow following you, not to harm, but to remind you that your brightness exposes everything. The shadow wants you to flinch, to stumble, to question your strength, but it cannot touch the divine armor wrapped around your being. You are not alone in this path, though it feels narrow and winding. Even when you feel the chill of something watching, you must understand, it is your radiance they fear, not your weakness. The deeper you walk into your truth, the more things that dwell in the dark try to follow you, but they stay behind for a reason. They are not allowed to cross the threshold that your light has carved out. You were not born ordinary. There is something glowing in your presence that others sense but cannot define. And because they cannot define it, they either try to destroy it or attach themselves to it. Type Amen to get blessing 719. There are spirits in this world that cling to confusion, chaos, and doubt. When they see you walking steady, smiling quietly, and rising slowly from every blow, they panic. You are the opposite of everything they feast on. When you were at your lowest, they celebrated, but now that you've started rising again, they are retreating in silence. Your soul was never broken, only hidden behind layers of pain they thought would bury you forever. They underestimated what was encoded inside you since the moment of your first breath. You do not owe anyone the story of your pain, not when your peace is being rebuilt. And those who follow you in silence, watching your growth, they can't look away, not because they care, but because your light makes them uncomfortable. The truth is, some of them were shadows once disguised as friends. Type Amen to get blessing 542. The whispers behind your back weren't accidental. There was a coordinated plan to dim you, to crush your faith, to isolate you long enough that you'd give up. But instead of breaking, something in you sharpened. You became quieter, but stronger. You became gentler, but more powerful. And the light you carry now isn't from this world. It was built in the storm. Archangel Michael says, the light within you was forged through battles that would have shattered anyone else. You stood where others fell. You kept going when the ground beneath you trembled. They thought your silence meant defeat, but it was preparation. You were learning who not to trust. You were learning how deeply your energy reaches. Type Amen to get blessing 988. Even now, there are those trying to reattach to your life, pretending to bring warmth, but their shadows linger behind their eyes. You know it when you feel it. You've learned to read energy in silence. You don't need to confront them. Your glow is confrontation enough. Every step you take forward burns their intentions in the background. Do not return to spaces that made you feel invisible. You are not invisible anymore. You are being watched because you're finally being seen by the right ones. Type Amen to get blessing 227. There is power in your breath. Even when you whisper, the spirit realm listens. Even when you sleep, your light is at work. Dreams will become more vivid now. Some will reveal the names of those hiding behind masks. Others will offer warnings dressed as visions. You will begin to notice the shift. People who never noticed you will start feeling drawn to you. Not because you changed, but because you remembered who you are. You are no longer living to be accepted. You are living to be aligned. Your assignment was never meant to be easy, only necessary. Type Amen to get blessing 631. Sometimes, the attacks increase not because you re-cursed, but because you too close to a breakthrough. That shadow, it's desperate. It's been losing control since you stopped doubting yourself. It can't touch you anymore. It just hovers, hoping to scare you into going back to your past. But you've closed that door, and your light sealed it shut. Archangel Michael says, everything they tried to erase about you is coming back stronger. Everything you cried about in secret is about to be revealed in your blessing. You didn't survive for nothing. They laughed when you stumbled, but they didn't know you had wings they couldn't see. And now that you're rising, their laughter has turned to silence. Type Amen to get blessing 455. You have always been light. Even when you were surrounded by shadows, your essence remained unchanged. That's why they couldn't touch you. They tried to imitate your energy, your words, your presence. But imitation lacks the spiritual depth that comes from divine purpose. They can copy, but they cannot carry. You were anointed for this hour. Everything around you is shifting because your light has been activated at full power. Those who cannot handle it are simply being removed. Be at peace with the losses. Some people were shadows, shaped like companions. They only stayed close when you were dim. Type Amen to get blessing 344. But now you shine, and they vanish. That is the natural law of light and darkness. Don't mourn those who couldn't handle your illumination. Your story is sacred. It wasn't written in ink, it was written in fire. You were burned, refined, and now you glow from within. Your light heals others, even if you don't realize it. Your silence calms storms others can't escape. You are divine proof that light doesn't need to shout to be felt. The right ones will find you. You won't have to explain your value anymore. Your presence alone will be enough. Type Amen to get blessing 181. The season of proving is over. The season of walking quietly in power has begun. You don't need to declare, your glow declares for you. There is a reward for your silence. A reward for not seeking revenge. A reward for standing tall when everything tried to drag you into the dark. They will soon speak your name with respect. The same mouths that whispered against you will tremble in awe. Not because you retaliated, but because you elevated. The shadow is still watching, but it's afraid. Your path has become untouchable. You are surrounded by light the shadow cannot pass through. Type Amen to get blessing 903. There is no need to turn around and confront it. Let it remain behind you, where it belongs. Your steps are forward now. You have been marked by divine light. That means every curse thrown at you is being reversed. Every lie spoken is becoming a ladder toward your next level. The shift is irreversible. You cannot be pulled back into what tried to bury you. Your soul has broken free. Archangel Michael says, Heaven saw what you went through and sent protection in ways you didn't even notice. You were never unguarded. You were never abandoned. Type Amen to get blessing 576. Even when your voice trembled, your spirit didn't. Even when your hands shook, your heart kept beating with quiet fire. You were made for this. Those who judged your silence will soon realize it was power in disguise. Those who mocked your steps will soon witness your flight. You're not walking anymore, you're soaring. Let the shadows follow if they must. Let them see what divine victory looks like up close. Your back is the only view they're entitled to now. And still, you'll rise. Quietly, powerfully, without seeking vengeance, but carrying destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 490. They thought the storm would end you, but you became the storm. They thought the darkness would consume you, but you turned it into light. You don't need to explain who you are anymore. Those meant to understand will already know, and those who don't matter. Your light cannot be faked, bought, or borrowed. It is earned through fire. And you, yes you, walk with that fire now. There is a reason you are still standing. You are part of something much larger. And that reason will reveal itself soon. Type Amen to get blessing 662. This was never just about survival. It was about becoming untouchable. The shadow thought it was a threat, but it's now your proof. Because you walked through it, you now glow beyond it. Your steps shake spiritual ground. You are awakening everything around you. Those who tried to dim you will say they knew you, but they didn't. They only knew the version of you still learning. Now you are becoming the one who teaches through light, the one who leads without force, the one who cannot be stopped. Type Amen to get blessing 284. Even the stars pause when your spirit rises. You were created with a frequency that breaks old cycles. You are not just rising, you are resetting everything. And the shadow knows. That's why it lingers. That's why it waits. But it cannot reach you anymore. You're walking in a field of light, surrounded by divine fire. You are untouchable. You are not who you were last season. You're walking with ancient wisdom now. You are unshaken. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The shadow can only follow. It cannot lead. And it certainly cannot steal what has been ordained for you. Every delay, every betrayal, every tear, they were refining you, making your glow undeniable, making your future unstoppable. You're no longer walking through pain, you're walking through purpose. Your light is the key, and the shadow has no hands to grasp it. So keep going, keep glowing. The ones who truly see you are on their way. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your reflection no longer carries sorrow, it carries survival. The version of you that was ignored is gone. Now, your very presence demands awareness. Your journey was never about applause, it was about awakening. The deeper you went within, the more the false ones vanished. You didn't lose them, you were protected from them. And the shadow? It is now merely a reminder of how far you've come. It hovers, but it cannot interfere. Its silence now is the loudest proof of your spiritual dominance. Type Amen to get blessing 821. The things that once made you cry are now making you wise. The voices that once mocked your pain are now silent, watching your rise. You didn't just heal, you evolved. There is a sacred rhythm in your walk now. A deeper purpose echoes in your every breath. Your presence calms storms because you've survived too many of your own. Your story is your light. Every scar now glows with divine strength. You are not dimmed, you are defined. You no longer seek to belong. You know now that you were meant to stand apart. That is where your true power is being activated. Type Amen to get blessing 391. There is a crown forming in your energy. It's invisible to those who only see with the eyes. But the spiritual realm is bowing. Archangel Michael says, the forces that once tried to smother you are now scattering in confusion. Your name is surrounded by light. The very syllables of it have become untouchable. Don't fear the shadow that still follows. Its presence proves your fire is too loud to ignore. It can't consume you. It just observes in silence. You carry a code in your spirit that triggers the darkness to tremble. That's why you're watched. That's why you misunderstood. Type Amen to get blessing 158. Let them misunderstand. Your path was never built for crowds. It was built for the chosen. You're no longer living in reaction. You're living in revelation. What others call luck is actually the unfolding of your divine order. Everything they said you'd never become, you already are. Everything they said you lost, you're about to gain in overflow. And still, you shine without apology. Let them whisper. Let them watch. Their whispers hold no weight where you're going. You have entered a realm where light commands the future. Your voice is awakening dormant spaces. The fire in you is rising. Type Amen to get blessing 669. The universe is bending in your direction. You are not chasing, you are attracting. Your light is the magnet now. And yes, the shadow still lurks. But not to attack, to witness. It knows the truth now. You are out of reach. You were never their equal. That's why they tried to bring you down. Now, they can only observe your glow from afar. You are wrapped in celestial energy. Every time you speak from truth, the veil of darkness gets thinner. You are unveiling something ancient in yourself. Type Amen to get blessing 950. Your ancestors stand behind you. They've been guiding your steps in the silence. You are their living proof. The karma of those who betrayed you is activating. Not because you wished it, but because the universe balances all things. Stay focused. Your glow is your justice. And no matter how heavy it's been, your soul didn't break. It expanded. You became a vessel of divine vibration. Now the world will begin to notice. Not because you demanded it, but because your light cannot be hidden anymore. It moves ahead of you, clearing your way. Type Amen to get blessing 202. You are no longer battling shadows. You are leading light. The war is over, and your victory has begun. You've already outgrown the old version of yourself. The one who begged for clarity. The one who tolerated energy that didn't honor your soul. That version no longer exists. And anyone who still speaks to that old you won't be able to connect to the new you. You've become unreachable by what once controlled you. Archangel Michael says, your name is echoing through realms. Heaven recognizes you now not as a survivor, but as a spiritual commander. What used to shake you, now obeys your silence. Type Amen to get blessing 303. Your silence is strategy. Your stillness is protection. Your glow is not just light, it's legacy. And as you rise, you'll notice something. The higher you go, the less noise you hear. The path of purpose is quiet because it's sacred. Let the shadow follow if it must. Its purpose is done. It cannot block what is destined. You are stepping into divine visibility. The kind that draws the right people, places, and protection. The kind that transforms every room you enter. Let your light go before you. Let it speak for you. The time for hiding is over. Type Amen to get blessing 734. Your energy has become prophetic. Without speaking, you confirm truths people were afraid to accept. You awaken hearts, even if they're not ready. You don't need a stage. Your aura is the spotlight. You don't need validation. Your peace is the evidence. Everything about you is rising into divine alignment. That's why the resistance felt intense. It was the final wave before release. Now the wave has broken, and here you stand, still, quiet, glowing. The darkness knows now what you carry. That's why it fears. That's why it flees. Type Amen to get blessing 591. You don't need to shout. You don't need to prove. Your very walk rewrites the energy in the room. This is why certain people were removed. They could not handle your transition. They were attached to your confusion, not your clarity. But you see now. You feel now. And you choose differently now. Let that be your peace. You are not who you were. You are who you were always meant to become. Let the light carry you. Let the shadow watch. It cannot stop the glow you now walk in. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. You are being remembered by realms that once waited for you to awaken. The vibrations you carry now are no longer fragile, they're fierce. The shadow that lingers behind you trembles, not because you are a threat, but because you are truth. The time of hiding has ended. Your very steps are confirmation that something divine has arrived through you. You are not just here, you are sent. Every place you enter is now being rearranged by your energy. Every false presence gets exposed simply because you exist. You are no longer waiting for the light, you have become it. Type Amen to get blessing 864. The shadow keeps a distance now. Not because it wants to, but because it must. It understands the cost of crossing into your light. It gets consumed. Your glow is not ordinary. It has been touched by silence, sculpted by sorrow, and ignited by survival. What you carry now is ancient power in a modern soul. The darkness knows it cannot imitate that. It cannot fake the weight of what you've lived through. You don't shine because of perfection. You shine because you endured and still love deeply. You are now walking into spaces designed for who you are becoming, not who you were. You are being drawn to places where your light will not be questioned, only honored. Type Amen to get blessing 487. Some people are losing access to you, not because you're cold, but because you've become sacred. You've stopped begging for doors to open and started realizing you are the door. Your hands now carry authority. Your silence has become prophecy. Your energy is a sanctuary for the weary and a storm for the wicked. Let the old versions of you dissolve in peace. They served their purpose. Now, it's time for the you that's been buried under pain to fully emerge. Archangel Michael says, your radiance is written in realms even you haven't seen yet. Your name has been sealed in spiritual flame. Nothing sent against you can enter where you now dwell. Type Amen to get blessing 399. You are too big for the rooms that tried to contain you. That's why they tried to shrink you with shame and doubt. But nothing could eclipse your light. They didn't know you were seated, not buried. And now you're breaking through the soil of silence with unstoppable force. Your glow is a warning to every enemy that thought you'd stay broken. It's a declaration that your rise is not temporary, it's eternal. Every time you move forward, another chain breaks. Every time you breathe in peace, another lie dissolves. You are the prophecy fulfilled. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. The road ahead is not one of confusion, it is marked with clarity. You will no longer stumble in darkness. Your steps are illuminated by divine timing. People will approach you now, not to test you, but to witness you. You have become the answer someone else is praying for. That's why the shadow still watches. It wants to see who you will become next. But it cannot stop it. It has no voice in your future. You are no longer healing in the dark. You are shining in public. And no force can dim what's been awakened inside you now. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Your silence is filled with power. Your stillness radiates strength. You don't fight with words. You shift with presence. They didn't believe you were the one. They overlooked, doubted, and dismissed. But now your existence is impossible to ignore. Every time they try to speak against you, they will stumble over the weight of your light. Every lie spoken against you will fold in the truth of your walk. You've become a mirror to those still hiding from themselves. That's why some fear you. But let them. Type Amen to get blessing 600. Fear is not your portion. Fire is. And your fire cannot be handled by those who live in shadows. You are elevation in human form. You are transformation wrapped in flesh. You are the living reminder that light does not die. Even when you're tired, your light still works. Even when you feel unseen, realms are bowing. You are known where it matters. So take each step with assurance. You do not walk alone. Forces unseen are clearing your path with every breath. Type Amen to get blessing 731. Even in rooms where they hoped you'd shrink, you're about to take up all the space. Your spirit was never meant to be small. It was always meant to roar in silence. What they once feared, they will now admire. Not because you changed to fit them, but because you refused to. Archangel Michael says, your story is being carried by wind and whispered in spirit. It is untouchable, unshakable, and unforgettable. And those who tried to erase you, they're now watching your rise. Let them watch. Let them remember. But do not let them return. Type Amen to get blessing 832. This is the hour of no return. You are too far into the light to entertain darkness again. You have been transformed by too much truth to settle for false peace. No more shrinking. No more hiding. No more explaining your light to those who are committed to shadows. Your path is aligned with legacy now. Everything you touch will multiply. Everything you speak will create. Because your voice is a portal. Your breath is a scroll. And your light is not just for you. It's for generations ahead. Type Amen to get blessing 999. So keep going. Even if your feet are weary. Keep rising, even if the climb is steep. Your light has already done what the shadow feared, survived. You are no longer trying to be seen. You are being recognized. Your glow cannot be hidden anymore. And no, they won't understand. They were never supposed to. The shadow was never meant to stay. It was meant to be left behind. Let it remain where it belongs, in your past. You are walking in radiant grace now, and the light is your shield. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.